What is up, guys? It's Cacti Man here, and here I have a yellow dragon fruit. Now, a question that I get a lot, especially from my own relatives, is that how do you know if you're growing a yellow dragon fruit, or where can I get yellow dragon fruits from? And today I want to answer the first question, right? So, there are a lot of different kinds of yellow dragon fruit, some very rare and some pretty common, but usually they range on the more, even the common ones are kind of, uncommon. So, how do you know if you do have a yellow dragon fruit, or how do I know that someone's not scamming me for yellow dragon fruit? Okay, so for one, this one right here, this is what's called Isis yellow, right? This is going to be a more rare kind of dragon fruit. So chances are, when you're talking about yellow dragon fruit, you mean this one over here. This one is known as Ecuador Palora, which is a variety of the species Selenocereus megalanthus, right? So if you ever buy a cutting, or if you want to know what yellow dragon fruit comes from, it comes from this one right here, which is different from the usual dragon fruit shape of these lobes right here. So most dragon fruit will have these round cloud-like lobes and spines in the middle of the lobes, whereas Palora has these jagged lobes and the thorns are on the tips of the lobes instead of in between them, right? So this is Palora. It looks very different from most dragon fruit varieties, or most common ones out there. So this will give you the typical yellow dragon fruit with spines on it, the ones that you see at your typical groceries, or the ones that are $5 for one, or however you see it. So make sure your plant looks like this if you're ever on the lookout for a yellow dragon fruit. Here's another right here of it standing straight up. I think I might have a bud right there, and we'll see. And now, time for the more rare kind of yellow dragon fruit. We have here what you typically don't see in stores. This is called Isis yellow, and it's actually not a separate species of the more common Undatus, but actually it's actually a cultivar of your typical Hylocereus undatus, otherwise known as Vietnamese white. So the typical ones you see in the dragon fruit or in the grocery store, where it's pink on the outside and white on the inside, yeah, this is the same species, but it's got a special mutation that makes it yellow, and apparently tastes different too. Now this is going to be way harder to detect versus the normal undatus, versus the normal Vietnam white, because apparently, at first when I was growing this one, I thought it was Vietnamese white until it started flushing this year and it turned yellow instead of pink. So, and of course, me as researching dragon fruit a lot, I still managed to get confused. So how do you know for sure? Well, there was one glaring sign that I knew, that I saw, that I didn't pay attention to, and one that I thought I was unlucky for, and that's that this plant right here was self-sterile, which means that the flowers were unable to pollinate themselves and make fruit. So I found that last year. I tried pollinating itself and I didn't get any fruit, and I just thought I got unlucky with the self-sterile variety. But more often than not, undatus is actually self-fertile, and that's one of the big pros about having undatus, is that you can always reliably set fruit on their own. So I should have took that as a clear sign that what I didn't have was a typical undatus, and lo and behold, here we have Isis yellow. So if you have an undatus that's self-sterile, which is kind of rare for a Vietnamese white, chances are that you might have something different like this undatus right here. So there we go. So for those of you that have self-sterile Vietnamese whites out there, don't count yourself as unlucky, because you might just be the opposite and have yourselves a rare cultivar of it right here. And like I mentioned earlier, there are other kinds of yellow dragon fruit, like albino alcampanus and other ones out there, but those are pretty rare and pretty pricey, and chances are you won't end up with one from a friend who just randomly gives you a dragon fruit. You're kind of going to be way into the hobby before you see those kinds of things. So yeah, there are two kinds of yellow dragon fruit, and I helped you guys identify them, and hopefully I gave some of you hope out there with the self-sterile undatuses like me. So this is what you have at the end of your rainbow. pretty cool. Here's a zoom out of 3 different kinds, or 3 different colors of dragon fruit. Red, green, and yellow. Yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.